Welcome back to the Summerlin Bobcast, and today I'm here doing the daily announcements. Because of the early dismissals, they haven't had their 7th period class, so I'm going to go ahead and read those for you today. So, today, Friday, September 15th, we are having pizza, green beans, fruit and veggie bar. The breakfast will be Long John's, of course, everybody's favorite, on Friday. On Monday, the 18th, breakfast is breakfast burrito, and lunch will be taco, tater tots, and fruit veggie bar. Tuesday, September 19th, the breakfast is Bosco sticks with pig in a blanket, baked beans, and fruit and veggie bar for the lunch. Wednesday, September 20th, is breakfast sandwich for breakfast, and lunch will be deli sandwich with chips, fruit and veggie bar. Thursday, the 21st, it's omelet for breakfast, and lunch will be pulled pork and tried tater. That's the look at lunch for today and next week. The dress-up days for homecoming next week: Monday is Neon Day, Tuesday is Celebrity Day, and for the elementary it's Husker Day on Tuesday. Wednesday is Pajama Day, Thursday is Holiday Day, and Friday is Bobcat Pride Day. If you haven't paid class dues, activity fees, Chromebook fees, those were due a couple days ago, you will be eating last. You got to get those paid. We will be putting in an order for letter jackets in order to have them by Christmas. We will have a deadline of October 10th. Please stop by Miss Monerick's room and grab a form. Seniors, you're getting your senior pictures back. Would you please send a photo to Abby Funk at summerlinbobcast.org for the senior pictures page. Look at next week in the daily calendar. Today, though, we have cross country at O'Neill at 3:30. Football at Lutheran High Northeast, that's at 7. Saturday, there is junior high volleyball tourney at O'Neill St. Mary's, and a JV tournament at Summerlin. Schedule goes in the main gym: Summerlin playing St. Mary's, and West Holt and Battle Creek will all be in the main gym at 10. At 11, St. Mary's and Crofton will be in the main gym, and in the auction will be Battle Creek and North Central. At 12, it'll be Crofton and Summerlin, and then North Central and West Holt. At 1 o'clock, that'll be your second place game in the main gym and your third place game in the aux gym. And the championship game for first place will be played best of 3 in the main gym. And on Monday, the 18th, junior high and JV football will be going on at 4 and 5 o'clock. And then 5:30, and then the JV game at 7. It's at Summerlin. FFA District Tractor Driving Competition is also on Monday. Tuesday the 19th, there will be volleyball at Summerlin versus Crofton. C team starting at 5, JV at 6, and varsity at 7. Wednesday, there is not anything going on. Thursday the 21st, cross country will be at Lakeview Golf Course in Crofton at 4:30. Junior high and varsity volleyball triangular at Summerlin. There will be varsity and JV, main gym for the varsity, aux gym for the JV. Summerlin at 5, and then Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family versus Stanton at 6, and then Stanton playing Summerlin at 7. Friday the 22nd, there's football at Summerlin versus Elkhorn Valley, the homecoming game at 7 o'clock. And Saturday the 23rd, there will be varsity volleyball at Madison, and Lions Club Parade in Norfolk. They are leaving at 8:15. So that'll do it for your daily announcements today. Stay tuned for my segment, which is Barrett's Sports segment. Hello Summerlin, I'm Barrett with the Summerlin Bobcast Sports segment, and we're here with our next segment this week. We changed up the order a little bit. We're not going to start with weekly review. We're going to start off and go into our first segment, which is Husker Hour. So this is Husker Hour, and the segment where we talk about everything Husker related. And today we're talking about volleyball. No, I'm kidding. We could talk about volleyball because Husker volleyball is actually playing good. Husker football is not. Nebraska football. Where do we start? 0-2, not the way anybody wanted to start. Was it the way anybody expected? Maybe, maybe not. Some people might have guessed that. I don't know whether to start with the positive or the negatives. I guess we start with the positives. The defense has looked great all season. They have 11 sacks. They lead the nation in sacks. Our defense is playing excellent. the offense had a good first drive until Jeff Sims, and we'll get on the Jeff Sims story later because that's just not okay. Um, if I want to be really, really positive, I could say that a bowl game is still possible. We still could get bowl eligible, which is not, I'm not wrong in saying that. I mean, you look at the next two very winnable games. We get back to 500, we lose to Michigan. And other than Michigan, still, like I said at the beginning of the season, and Colorado maybe is the exception at this point, but Michigan was the only game that we were 100% going to lose. So we lose those first two, and everybody is just like, giving up on the team. And I'm going to be honest, it's hard for me to sit there and watch. I mean, I'm kind of just sitting there and enjoying watching football, not even looking at it as a Husker fan, because I think all of us need to just accept we hired Matt Rule. He said it himself in his presser this week that, it's not, you didn't hire me to go win 12 games this season and go win the national championship this season. He admitted it's going to be a rebuild. You're probably not going to be happy with the results the first year, maybe even the first 2 years, but he's actually building a program rather than, as he said it himself, he didn't, specifically say it, but he kind of, alluded to it by saying like, we're here for the process, we're doing things the right way. Basically talking about Dion just like bringing in transfers and, building a team from nothing, and then a week later he has a full team of transfers. He kicked all the Colorado people out basically, so he is trying to do it the Nebraska way. He said that too. He wanted to build the culture like Nebraska has in all the years, and I think he's doing that well. We've already seen a bunch of younger guys start to play. Look at the D-line, look at Alex Bullock, safeties, corners. I mean, he's got people playing, young guys playing a lot. He's got people that would have left. Look at a guy like Luke Reimer. That guy had no reason, he had zero reason to buy in to what Matt Rule was saying. He's a 5th-year senior now? And he's been through 3 different head coaches, technically with Mickey Joseph, Scott Frost, and now Matt Rule. He's heard the story many times and it hasn't worked out any time. Why should he keep buying in? And he does, and he's a great leader on that defense. And that's one reason I really love Luke Reimer. But back to what I was saying, Nebraska, it's almost hard for me to say, but I still have faith we win 5 games this year. I cannot say anything about a bowl game because a bowl game just seems so far out of reach. If we get back to 500 in the next 2 weeks, that's not terrible, right? 2-2, and then we go 2-3. Then you play teams like Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, Iowa at the end of the year, Wisconsin. We play Maryland as well, Michigan State. All those games are winnable. I mean, you look at any of those. We all know Nebraska can win that if we play a complete game. If the defense keeps playing good and the offense actually does something and doesn't turn the ball over 4 times a game, first off, Minnesota should have been a win. Colorado, the turnovers obviously were an issue, but they were better than us. Everybody needs to admit that. I think we all knew that coming in, but the first 2 drives, offense-defense-wise, made us have a little hope, and then Jeff Sims kind of threw it out the window. That's the next thing I'm getting on is Jeff Sims. Am I very upset at Jeff Sims? Absolutely. He needs to, I don't know if they're not practicing snaps. Obviously, Matt Rule talked about, in practice they told Jeff Sims not to dive on a ball because they don't want him to get injured. But in a game, you need to. So Rule said that was kind of his bad, and he's going to try to work on that a little bit more. But obviously, you try to keep your quarterback healthy in practice. You don't want him diving on the ground and getting rolled on and stuff like that. So we saw Harburg come in. We saw Purdy for not very much, but he was in a little bit. Everybody's saying sit Sims and make Harburg play or try to move Sims over to running back or something, but we don't need another running back. Harburg's not the answer in my opinion. Just the offense for 3-4 months has been built around Jeff Sims. That's what everything was built around, the offensive playbook, the people brought in, the 1 reps, with the offense. So, all the chemistry built, even though he's turned the ball over, I don't think 2 games in you can just ditch him because, at some point it has to click, and I don't think Harburg letting, a guy that hasn't played hardly at all compared to a guy with a lot of experience, even though he turns the ball over, right? He's got a lot of trouble with turning the ball over, but Harburg's not the answer yet. Maybe he sees more snaps. That's not my decision at all, obviously, but I would stick with Jeff Sims and just let him just fix the problems. The offense looked better They finally got Billy Kemp involved. He looked great, honestly, but again, we had trouble getting the ball more after really that first and second drive. And even like the first drive coming out of halftime, and then Jeff Sims had that 50-yard scramble for a touchdown. That gave me hope, and then all of a sudden it was 13-7, and then it was 36-14 at the end or something like that. So there's positives, there's a lot of negatives, but really for this first year, we just gotta stick with them because we know Matt Rule is a rebuilder. He's not gonna fix it instantly. So hopefully we can kind of get back on track, especially this weekend. Northern Illinois. This is my thing right here. We beat Northern Illinois. Everything's not okay, right? But we should win the next two. LA Tech next, 2-2. If we lose either of these next two games, full eligibility's gone. We're not getting there. Everybody's gonna give up hope on the team, but really, I just want to watch, see how it plays out. He'll probably start playing even younger guys, letting them get more reps. Because like he said he'll play anybody that'll help him win. It doesn't care if he's a 5-year starter or a walk-on, a true freshman. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, we'll see if he sticks to that. We'd like to see more fullback and tight end. They started throwing the ball to the tight end a little bit. We saw the fullback a couple times, but, compared to Minnesota, we didn't see it at all. So, I guess we'll see it first home opener. Everything's still exciting for this year, even though everybody's hope has went straight down the drain because of Minnesota, Colorado. But that's a rough opener to face a guy with PJ Fleck in Minnesota, and then face the talented athleticism transfer portal Colorado, both on the road in Matt Rule's first games with our group that hasn't played much together. So to have back-to-back home games now that are actually almost like preseason games that we should win, hopefully get our footing a little bit and not be so wound up, I guess. But I'm kind of just rambling on because I could talk Husker football forever. So we're going to end this Husker Hour right here. We're going to move on to our second segment of the day, which is Weekly Review. So this is Weekly Review, and last week we made some picks against the percentage chance to win, the betting lines, things like that. And the NFL finally actually kicked off, so we can look at scores from Preston, Christian, and me making picks, and of course the the percentage, whatever you want to call it, last week going against America. So first off, the Lions on Thursday Night Football upset the Chiefs. It was a weird game, no Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs lost 21-20. Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. That game, Bijan Robinson scored his first career tutty. It was a nice move too. I was surprised it was not a closer game, honestly. The Bucks beat the Vikings 2017. That one was kind of surprising for me. Trey Palmer scored his first touchdown, which is big for a Husker football fan, right? And the Vikings got beat, so I guess that's interesting. Browns beat the Bengals 24-3. The Bengals offense was the worst I've seen it ever. They were in the rain. It was a bad game to watch. The Jags beat the Colts 31-21. 49ers beat the Steelers 30-7. Saints beat the Titans 16-15. Commanders beat the Cardinals 20-16. The Cardinals didn't even have Kyler Murray, and they still, obviously the Commanders aren't necessarily that good, but they didn't look terrible in their opening week. The Ravens beat the Texans 25-9, which is an interesting score, honestly. Eagles beat the Patriots 25-20. Raiders barely beat the Broncos here, 17-16. Dolphins beat the Chargers 36-34. We'll talk more about the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill a little bit later on in this segment. The Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. I don't want to talk about that game. We'll just move on. That should not have been lost. Packers beat the Bears 38-20. Jordan Love looked pretty good in his opener, honestly. To say it, I mean, Jordan Love didn't look too bad against Justin Fields there. Cowboys defense absolutely stifled. My God, it was 40-0 over the Giants. I honestly don't know what the Giants were doing. The Cowboys defense looked great. They blocked a field goal. They picked it off. They kick return one, I think, maybe not. And finally, last night, the Jets beat the Bills 22-16. Somehow, even though Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, I'm sure everybody's heard of that by now. He played 4 snaps in his Jets career. I saw a funny thing that said Josh Allen has more completions to Jets players than Aaron Rodgers does. That's completely true because Josh Allen threw 3 picks, I think. So, yeah. So, America, right? Whatever. I still don't know what to say exactly for that. The percentage pick, whatever you want to say. They went 8-8. I went 9-7. Preston went 6-10. So he didn't actually pick that well. Come on, Preston. And Christian went 8-8. So pretty even spread, honestly, through all that. Now we'll move on to college football. Kansas beat Illinois 34-23. Number 13 Notre Dame beat NC State 45-24. Number 12 Utah beat Baylor 20-13. This next game nobody cares about, right? Colorado beat Nebraska 36-14. We all know, we just talked about that game. Don't need to hear it. Number 20 Ole Miss beat number 24 Tulane 37-20. I thought that game would be closer, and it's just not. Miami, kind of an upset over number 23 Texas A&M, 48-33. They beat them pretty good, and Miami actually looks really good this year, so watch out for Miami. Iowa ended up beating Iowa State 20-13, but again, typical Iowa game. They don't score a lot of points, and their defense plays pretty good. Might be what Nebraska does in the future. Number 18 Oklahoma beat SMU 28-11. I think that was expected. The biggest upset of the weekend, really. Number 11 Texas beat number 3 Alabama 34-24. Jalen Milroe didn't look that good for Alabama, and Texas just played good. I mean, they went in to Alabama, and they won that game. I remember the game last year, and Alabama handled it pretty well, and that was like an afternoon game in Texas, but they go to Bama for a night game, and Texas upsets. I think Alabama fell to like 10, and Texas up to like 4, I believe, so that's big for Texas. Huge win. Number 13 Oregon beat Texas Tech 38-30. So that one was expected as well, but America's picks went 6-4. I went 5-5, so I lost that one. I believe I did win the other one though, right? Yes, I did. I beat them by 1. So, America beat me in the NFL, but I beat them in college, or I beat America in the NFL, and they beat me in college. So that's going to do it for Weekly Review. We're going to move on to our third segment of the day, which is Watching You. So this is Watching You, and this week our segment is dedicated to Mr. Tyreek Hill. He played against the Chargers this week, and as we talked about a little bit earlier on, the Dolphins barely squeaked out that win, but it was largely in part to him, and of course Tua played well too, but Tyreek Hill, on 11 receptions, he caught it for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest reception was 47 yards. He had the game-winning touchdown over the corner. Most people probably saw that play. Tua left-handed threw it over the corner, right over the DB. Tyreek didn't even motion or jump that the ball was even coming, so the DB didn't even know it was there, and it just fell. He was just looking, and he just went like this, fell right into him. DB kind of was sleeping, but Tyreek made the catch. He averaged 19.5 per catch. He was third all-time in receiving yards in a season opener. So 215 puts him third all-time in a season opener game, which that kind of surprised me. I heard that stat and I was like, wow. Tyreek Hill really just kind of went off, and he did. A lot of people always said that he wasn't going to play as well. Tua's not a good quarterback. Jalen Waddle's going to take all the receptions. Tyreek's not going to be the same without Patrick Mahomes, all that. But honestly, Tyreek Hill has really proven that he's probably a top 3 receiver in the league still. And you can argue that if you want. Obviously, you look at Justin Jefferson, you look at Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tyreek's got to be 2 or 3, right? I mean, there's a ton of good receivers. I think everybody's consensus 1 is Justin Jefferson, but you got to look at Tyreek Hill for 2 or maybe 3. In my opinion, he's probably 2, but he has just played excellent. Like I said, 215 yards on 11 receptions. He scored twice on those, and it puts him third all-time in a season opener game. So excellent performance by Tyreek Hill. We're going to move on to our last segment of the day, which is a little bit different, but it's the one that we do every week. It's game time. So let's get into the last segment. So this is game time, and as you can see again, there's nobody here because, and we're not going to be picking against America this week again because that's just not, I don't think we can go back-to-back weeks of that. I'll take my dub against them in the NFL. They can have their dub against college football. But this week is basically a short week for us, right? And Wednesday and Thursday we get out early, which means the class that we normally film these, we're not having. So I'm actually filming this a lot earlier in the day than I normally would. Everybody's in their core classes right now, so We're just going to go ahead and pick these games and see how I do by myself. Nobody over here, swaying my opinion, or maybe I'm picking favorites sometimes, which I never do because I pick accurately every single time. We're going to start in the NFL, Vikings, Eagles. I'm going to give you some quick picks too today. I'm taking the Eagles. Vikings look really bad in the opener. They'll probably come back and play well, but I'll take the Eagles. Packers, Falcons, I think will be a really good game, but the Packers and Jordan Love look good enough. I think they win it. Raiders, Bills honestly should kill them. I know, Josh Allen played terrible. They lost to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think the Raiders are really going to be that good this year, even though they're first in the AFC West right now. That's a fun fact. Ravens playing the Bengals. Two teams that underperformed a lot, Lamar and Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow at home, they'll get it done. I understand that also J.K. Dobbins got hurt, so that's another reason I'll take the Bengals. Ravens without a true starting running back. So, I'll take the Bengals. Seahawks playing the Lions. Lions just beat the defending champs. Seahawks just lost to the Cooper Cup-less Rams. So, I'm going to pick my team. Seahawks on the road. They go get it done. They bounce back. Both teams go to 1-1. Chargers playing the Titans. I'm going to take the Chargers on the road. They lost a close one last week to the Dolphins. We've talked about that today already. The Titans are just one of those teams that are always going to be like 7 to 9 wins every year, I swear. No matter who's on the team, they have Derrick Henry, obviously, but who else do they really have? Nobody. So I'll take the Chargers on the road. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, all them boys, Joey Bosa. I'll take the Chargers. Bears playing the Bucks. I'll take the Bears there. No reason, just taking the Bears. Chiefs playing the Jags. That'll be a really good game. I'm going to go with Patty Mahomes. Honestly, though, the Jags look pretty good. They play the Colts, though, but watch out for the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, that duo looks really good. And then you throw in guys like Christian Kirk and, the running back core of ETN, the tight end, Evan Ingram. So the Jags probably, they should win their division, right? I'm trying to think who's in that division. I honestly don't know. But I'll take the Chiefs there. Colts playing the Texans. This is a stinker of a game. Two rookie quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. I'll take the Texans at home. Anthony Richardson was kind of throwing his body around, getting beat up at the goal line. He got injured. He got taken out of the game. Gardner Minshew had to come in. So I'll take the Texans there. 49ers playing the Rams. Obviously, we know what the Rams did to my team, so I'll take the Niners to win that one. Giants, Cardinals, give me the Giants. Jets playing the Cowboys. Cowboys should win it. Jets now without Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the year. Did Zach Wilson look okay? Yeah. But did the Cowboys defense look amazing? Definitely. So I'll take the Cowboys. Commanders playing the Broncos. Man. Two teams that no matter what happens to them, they're always 6 or below wins. I'll take the Broncos at home. They lost last week by 1 point to the Raiders at home, but I'll take them winning this game by 1 point. Dolphins, Patriots, give me the Dolphins. Like I said, we talked about the Dolphins plenty, and Tua and Tyreek and Gesicki and Jalen Waddle and Jeff Wilson. And like I said, the defense is really good too, so I'll take the Dolphins. And Monday Night Football is a really bad game. It's the Saints and the Panthers. I guess I'll take the Panthers at home. Bryce Young, Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen. I know the Saints really, Derek Carr didn't look that bad. They got Michael Thomas, Chris Olave. Kamara will be coming off suspension in 4 weeks or something like that, so I'll take the Panthers. College football, it's kind of a rough week. There's no actual really good ranked matchups. I actually can't say if there is a ranked matchup, so it's a lot of maybe blowout games this week. Penn State is number 7. They're playing Illinois. I'm taking Penn State. They look pretty good. They could make the college football playoffs this year. Illinois is, like they always are, honestly. Number 14, LSU playing Mississippi State. I'll take LSU easily there. And they're on the road, but Jaden Daniels look really good too, so I'll take LSU. Number 15, Kansas State playing Missouri. Give me Kansas State in a big win, honestly. Number 10, Alabama after that loss. They play South Florida, so should be a big bounce back. This could be that Oklahoma game, right? It was 73-0, so I'll take Bama. San Diego State playing number 16, Oregon State. I'll take Oregon State. I don't think it'll be a close one either. Minnesota playing number 20, North Carolina. I'm going to take Carolina, but it's going to be a really close game. I know how Minnesota plays. We've already seen them. Watch out for that. Could be an upset, right? An upset. They're ranked number 20, but Minnesota's unranked, so I'm going to take North Carolina, but that's going to be a good game. You might want to watch that one. Northwestern playing number 21 Duke after their upset on Clemson. They came back, they beat, I don't even know who, honestly. We all know Northwestern's not really a good team, so I'll take Duke there at home. Number 11, Tennessee playing Florida. Give me Tennessee. Northern Illinois playing Nebraska. I'm taking the Huskers by 20. They get their first win in the Matt Rule era. It's at home. We can't lose this game. We won't lose this game. Nebraska wins. Syracuse playing Purdue. Not a ranked matchup, but it is a matchup that's very good. Syracuse hasn't looked bad, and Purdue never really looks terrible. I'm going to take the Big Ten team at home. It's Purdue. They're going to win it. So this is a little bit different of a game time, but we'll be back to normal next week. But for now, that's all we have. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.